Three, two, one.
Growing Up Latina, Season 3, Episode 9.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Glowing Up Latina.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Kristina.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Lyana.
What's up, you guys?
Oh, we are back. We're back. When was the last time we recorded? 3 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
Almost a month,
I think almost a month, like before
right?
Thanksgiving, right?
That's insane.
We did two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We did two. Yeah. It's been a minute.
It has been a minute. Oh.
We were we were supposed to record in person today, but as you can tell, I'm getting over being sick. So if I clear my throat a bunch, I'm so sorry. I'll try to edit it out as best as possible.
How are you feeling? Are you feeling better?
Yeah.
Yeah, so much better. Monday I was like, oh, this is what death feels like. I'm going to die. It was not fun. I haven't had the flu in like quite some time. And I got a flu shot this year, so I'm extra pissed.
So that happened to me last year. I got a flu shot last year, and then right after Thanksgiving, I got sick and was out for a whole week. Yes.
Yeah.
The
Riddle
flu
me
was
that.
like, not today. Not this time. Nice try.
No, see, and I knew something
Crazy.
was up because like I was feeling nauseous and like I'm not a person who like throws up a bunch. So I just like felt nauseous all day and I was like, this is awful. Something bad is about to happen. And then yeah. And on Monday I was like dead. I woke up and I was like, this is not gonna be a good day, is it? And it was not. I made it through the whole day without crying. I was very proud of myself. Uh Amanda brought me some caldo, which I was very grateful for because I had not really been able to eat and it was so good. And I have to mention that Amanda likes the beef one better, which my mom does too. But my mom will make chicken for me. And Amanda made like a little pot of chicken for me. So I'm very grateful. Thank
I
you.
mean, the
Oh.
story, right? You're very welcome. My pleasure. Story behind was that I literally was going to make caldo for myself because it's cold. That's it. Caldo season. We're officially in caldo season. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make myself like a big pot for me and Constantine to last us the week. And then you send us the voice note, and I was like, oh my gosh, she sounds horrendous. Like, this is really bad. She sounds really bad. Like, nothing compared to what you sound like when you had COVID.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh my God. I was like, what is she? I hope like she's okay. And I was like, I'm already making caldo. Like, I already have all the ingredients for it. Like, I might as well just like, make you some, and you live up the road, so it's just like fine. I could always just like drop it off. But yeah.
But I made it the whole day and then we were getting ready to go to bed and I like went to close the door to the bathroom and my reaction times were very slow and it caught my thumb very lightly, I'll say. It wasn't even like that big of a smash, but that was it for me. And I started crying. And that I just was like, okay, well, I guess we're done for today.
Oh my goodness.
God.
But
Yeah,
I'm so glad to be feeling better because oh my God. It was well, like you said, with COVID, like I slept through most of it. So like feeling bad for like the couple of hours out of the day wasn't like that bad. I could not sleep at all. I tried so hard. And so I was just awake feeling miserable. And I was like, ooh, this is not fun.
Ugh.
yeah, I can only imagine.
But what about you guys? How have y'all been? How was y'all's Thanksgivings?
Thanksgiving was good. Thanksgiving, it was kind of quiet, low key this year, but it's okay. And then, we had a nice time. I was pretty exhausted after having everyone over and then, waking up early to cook. So I had no complaints. We're done. That's great. Everyone took their leftovers. Good riddance. I love you all. Thankful and grateful for you all. Had the next day off, which was nice. So it was a nice long weekend. I caught up with some high school friends. One of my high school friends turned 30, so they threw a big party that same weekend. So it was nice. Good long weekend.
Hmm.
How about you, Lyana?
Thanksgiving, we usually split Thanksgiving, Norton and I. So we spent the beginning part of the day with his family, so that was fun. Got to see everybody. And then the end part of the day spent at my uncle's house like we usually do. We had karaoke, sang our traditional song of Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson, and then had a lot of food, and it was great. It was good. It was low key too. It wasn't that big, that crazy. But yeah.
We love that. Kristina, did you say yours? I'm sorry.
Oh, mine was good. I spent it with my dad's family in the beginning of the day, and then the rest of the afternoon we spent it with my mom and our family over there, and it was good. We did our yearly thing of going to see the lights afterwards, and
Aw.
it was great. We played Tapple, which my cousins were really into. It was great. My mom's family like loves to play games, so we always play like some type of board game on Thanksgiving. I'm now realizing I think it's like an unofficial tradition.
Aw,
Oh,
that's nice.
that's so cute.
Yes. So we are excited to be back though. So sorry for being MIA for the last 2 weeks, unplanned, but there was a new episode in your feed last week, and now you have this one. And pending any other sicknesses, we'll keep pumping them out like we normally do.
Yeah. Hopefully that's not the case because it is that season. But we
I
don't
could
wanna get
not
sick over
believe
here.
the weather this week. That was insane.
My God, it was freaking cold.
Not ready for the snow at all.
Mm-mm.
So announcement up top. End of the season, we're doing our girls talk, girls advice column, whatever you want to call it. Do not forget to submit things that you want to talk about, questions that you have, advice that you may need, anything you got, send it to us. You can send that to our email at glowinguplathina@gmail.com, to our Instagram DMs at glowinguplathina, and also we'll have a Google form up for you to submit anonymously should you wish to do so. And then we'll put a question box on our Instagram. So we love when we hear from you guys, and we love to get y'all involved in our season finales. So we're doing it again.
Yay. Please respond.
Yeah, please.
Please.
Otherwise, we're just gonna sit here and look at each other. So our episode this week, actually, I think is like perfect timing for after Thanksgiving, even though I guess I'm technically like a week late. Was inspired by an article that I read from The Atlantic called The Plight of the Eldest Daughter. And Lyana and I, you have eldest daughter's oldest child. And Amanda, you have eldest daughter, only child.
Yes.
And
Growing up, yes.
Yes. So I know like the spotlight would definitely be intense for me and Lyana. I can't imagine what the spotlight would be like as an only child.
Ha 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 ha. Huh. Exactly. Yes. Nerve-wracking. They told you, like, I had to be always on my P's and Q's. I was the only child and no one to blame shit on. So
Well, and then you too, Leon, at least for a little bit, but at least for enough for you to like maybe like form some memories, like what, 7, 8 years.
Yeah, how old was I when Matt was born? Yeah, I was 7 when he was born. Had some core memories, man. Then I had to share a room and I was like, what is this? I don't understand.
Oh, goodness, shared your room with him as an infant?
Yes.
oh no.
I was like, I don't like this. Because I had a really big room.
Got it.
And then I had to share it with an infant who had a crib and had millions of toys. Oh my God, you guys just unlocked a core memory. Oh, so I'm in my room playing coloring underneath Matthew's crib. He's like, what, maybe 3? This kid was a menace. I'm telling you, because remember, this is the same brother who bit me on the back.
Yo.
So I'm coloring, minding my own business underneath his crib because I want to be with him. And then he had like this toy caterpillar that was like ABC, kind of like you would press a little button, like his little legs. but it was like a plastic toy.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you guys can see where I'm going with this.
Okay.
So I'm coloring on the floor. He has the caterpillar in his crib. He's clearly upset. I don't know why. He throws the caterpillar on my head. And I'm like, cool. And my mom was just like, what did you do to make him upset? And I was like, I give up. I literally give up. I can't win.
I existed. That's what I did.
Oh my God. No.
We're fine now, I think.
It's hard to believe that's how like Matthew was, because if you see Matthew now, Matthew's so quiet. Okay, never mind.
I mean, yeah, he is. I'm just being annoying now, but yeah, he is.
So the article seems to have been inspired by like the trend lately on like TikTok and Twitter of like, oh, like oldest daughters are the strongest men you'll ever meet, or like, of course I'm gonna act like your mother. I'm the eldest daughter. Like all of these things that we think about like come with being the oldest, these responsibilities and stuff that I don't want to say like I've necessarily been in my bag about, but like saw play out a lot over Thanksgiving. And like for me, I'm an oldest daughter raised by an oldest daughter.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh, me same.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
My mom is the oldest of the sisters.
Okay. Is she the oldest of the children?
No, she's the second oldest.
Okay. And then Lyana, you said your mom is the oldest of the children? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But my dad is the youngest boy out of his.
Oh.
Yeah.
What a
But
parent.
Yeah. But he's the second youngest in all of them.
Okay. So then for Amanda, I know it's only child, oldest child partnership. Lyana, it's oldest child, second oldest.
For my dad?
No, you and Norin.
Oh, yeah. He's the second oldest.
The oldest boy.
But the oldest boy.
Oh, right. Yeah. Constantine's the oldest boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow.
I can't imagine a pairing of oldest daughter, youngest son. That has to be wild.
Yeah. I mean, it's my parents, basically.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so this article from The Atlantic, which I'll link in our show notes, it really talks about like kind of like the duality that is between being the oldest child and the oldest daughter and how playing both of those roles looks like. So one thing it talks about is like the assumptions that are imposed by family members on how you should act, because we tend to think of oldest children and especially oldest daughters as being like very responsible, very attuned with caretaking. And this article kind of talks about how it's not necessarily that these people are these things, it's that the family has these values that imposes those things on the daughter, and then so that influences the way the daughter sees herself. So I'm not a responsible person because I'm the oldest, but because I'm the oldest, I was given a lot of responsibility and then saw myself as a responsible person, is basically like what it's saying. So were there like times when you guys like maybe felt, or even now maybe feel like that's not necessarily me, but they keep giving me these things, so I guess I have to be the one that does them?
Growing up, yes. I'm like this. So when I think of just the age group of like my cousins and I, because we were just like a group of girls, right? That's how we were like the first five grandchildren. The first five grandchildren were all girls. So I'm the second oldest of the grandchildren. And as we got older, you can see how we were maturing and all of the responsibilities that we were given. And when more grandchildren started coming into the family, because I have cousins who are as young as 8 years old. Like there's a huge gap. And I was like, it was either myself or my oldest cousin were asked to babysit some of these, some of my, cousins. So, and, I mean, yes, I guess it helped that we're related and we were asked, to take on that responsibility, but it was more of like how mature we showed, like we show our maturity. Like you can tell that we were very responsible. And my oldest cousin, she is also the oldest of her siblings. So you can tell right away. So we were given those responsibilities. And then, just favors from our aunts and uncles, our grandparents. Like if we needed to show up or, help our grandparents with a doctor's appointment, hey, can you take whenever we had like spring break, winter recess, like, hey, go with grandma or go with grandpa to a doctor's appointment. You know, yes, it would have been nice to hang out with friends, but there were responsibilities. Like, and I gladly did it, no questions asked. But I think because I knew it was expected of me that there was no talk back or questioning why do I have to do it. So right, when it was asked of me, I did it right away. I had no problem, helping out. So don't.
I feel like that's a good way to look at it. Because sometimes I gotta be honest, I did have a problem with it, do have a problem with it. Sometimes I'm like, whatever I'm trying to do, like I'm trying to do it. And whether it's like relaxing or like turning my brain off or like not necessarily being irresponsible, but like I'm just trying not to be responsible for anybody at this particular moment, like in these couple of hours. And then it's like that's when I like get a call or a text and it's like, hey, like da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, well, let's figure this out. We'll talk about it. And I was thinking about this earlier, like I do not want those calls or those texts to stop. Like, I'm glad that the people that I have in my life feel they can come to me with those things. It's just sometimes like, well, it's like, who do I go to? Because like I said, I talk to my mom about mostly everything, but still, it's a parent-child relationship, and there are some things like you don't want to talk to your mom about or your parent about. So it's like when I don't talk to my mom, like, who do I go to? Because everybody's like coming to me and like wants me to have the answer. And I feel like we now kind of understand each other to the point where like we don't have the answers to everything, but I also don't want to like appear to be weak for the people that see me as strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm like leaning towards like more Kristina too, where like when I'm trying to like do a thing, whether it's like relaxing, trying to take a shower, play Sims, watch TV, watch thousands of movies, that's when I'm like, I get that call or a call or a text, and it's like, oh, I thought we were going to do this today. Oh, I thought that you were going to do this tomorrow with me and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, I want to. And then the other part of me is just like, I really don't. And then like I have like that mental battle while I'm on the phone or texting. And I always cave in. I'm always just like, yeah, I guess I'll do it. Fine, whatever. And I'm like in the moment, I'm like annoyed and mad, but then I do the thing and I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah. It's hard because like I will say, like, I don't want anybody to listen to this because I know my family listens to this and be like, okay, well, I'm not going to call Kristina. My mother is calling me. Just 1 second. There we go. Okay, I'm back. And yes, my mom did call and I said, we're recording and I'll call her back after.
Oh, spot on.
And that's a thing, though, where I'm like, oh, it's not fair to you guys to like stop this and have the conversation with my mom that could be like 30 minutes plus. Like we can talk.
Right.
We are talkers. But I also sometimes feel like it's not fair to my mom to like put her on pause because like she's my mom. And like I feel like a heavy like sense of responsibility towards her and like for her. And so it's like hard sometimes to like be okay with the decisions I make because like for the rest of this recording, I'm probably going to be like, I should have just talked to her. Even though I know like she's okay with me calling her afterwards and she'll answer the phone for me afterwards. but it's just like this thing that like has been programmed into me to
Mhm.
like be there for the adults when they need me or be there for the kids when they need me.
Yes, it's like a push and pull. You're trying to make sure you're giving yourself some time, and then obviously, then you get pulled right back into I don't want to say the mayhem because it's not mayhem, but it's or if it is mayhem, it's good mayhem. But it's challenging. It is. You want to be there for everybody, and the way we were raised, it's like it's so much on our shoulders that we're now like it's instilled in us to in everything we do, from work to home to social life. Like it does. It carries itself in all these situations. And it's like, when do I learn to let go? When do I learn to like just be like, I need a minute. I need to, gather my feelings, gather myself before we say the pour. I can't pour into your cup unless I take care of mine, you know?
Yeah, and then the article it specifically says like trying to be everything for everyone is likely to lead to guilt when some obligations are inevitably unfulfilled. Like we can't be everything for everyone, we can't do everything for everyone, but I'll be damned if I'm not gonna try.
And I'm not gonna lie, like there were times where I would get a high of like people asking me, like, oh, well, I'm just gonna ask Amanda because Amanda's gonna do it. And it would feel nice because I was like, okay, I'm being relied on. Like they trust me. Like it feels great. But after a while, it was just like, hold on. It's only me. But why only me? I love you and want to do this for you. Whether if it's family or work, I told you because it presents itself in other ways. After a while, like it started to become very exhausting. I just and as an adult, trying to figure out my own crap, it wasn't working out.
And I'll tell you why it's always you, always us, whatever. It's because we come through. Like we're not gonna not come through. And so it's hard. I feel like I'm gonna say it this whole episode, but it really is because I don't want to disappoint anybody and I want to be there for everybody. And sometimes I can do that to the detriment of myself. So then, like, and I can't put it on other people to recognize that I'm being taken advantage of or that I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. Like, that's on me. And like having to draw those boundaries that we talk about so often on this show. But drawing boundaries with your family is so freaking hard.
It really is. Mm. I think
Yeah.
kind of
Like I have nothing to say because it's just like I'm scared. Scared to talk.
but I think also showing like silencing yourself a little bit and like sorry, ghosting
Oh
speaks
yeah, that's me.
volumes. It
That's
speaks
me, top
volumes
tier.
because then that's how you know. That's right, but that's how people know like, okay, we're going to stop asking. We're going to just
Oh, wait, y'all ghost?
I can't.
I can't
But
either.
I'm just saying that is a form of doing that so that way you can create the boundary. If it's listen, it that I feel like that if that works for you, I wish I could. I just can't personally.
I have done it a couple of times. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel great. But then at the same point, I have to like think to I always have to whenever this happens, I always have to thank like Norn for it because Norn is very quick to say like you can't always be there for everybody. Like you have to like sometimes take a step back and do what you need to do for yourself. And I'm like, I know, but then I have like that whole pull and tug thing with myself because I want to be there and I know that I have to be there or feel like I have to be there. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, I need to do this right now for me. And, ghosting is not fun, but, it just gets the job done in the nicest way possible.
I mean, I mean, I'm sure probably right. You've seen that where it gets the job done, but also it forces, unfortunately, sorry to say, but it probably forces the next person who's supposed to like, right after you kind of, take the heat a little bit and be like, dang, they didn't say anything. So now I guess I have to step up. But yes, because, we're siblings. We need to take care of each other. I can't just be the only one stepping in the entire time because I'm a burnout. And
Yeah.
and I think that causes some type of resentment in within your family dynamics. Like, it's gonna get worse. So
Yeah.
step in before I have some type of resentment towards you and I can't be around you. Step in.
I think
Yeah,
the
I don't.
thing is too is like as being the eldest daughter or being the oldest or being the only child, like a lot of the I'll speak for myself. A lot of the things that I've done, I've learned along the way by myself. Like a lot of those things, like I didn't know how to apply for, my parents didn't really know how to apply for college. I had to learn how to do that. My parents didn't know how to apply for FAFSA. I had to learn how to do that. There were so many like, and I'm picking school as an
Mhm.
example, but like writing my own resume, they didn't know how to do that. I had to learn how to do that on my own. There's like so many like little things like that where like if I had to learn it on my own, I'm sure whoever comes after me can also do it on their own. And I'm not saying like I won't be there to guide because I will help wherever I can. But once I feel like I'm being taken advantage of, then I'm like, and now I will be going silent for the next 3 weeks. See you then. So
No,
yeah.
I feel that with the whole college school example, right? Because I had to do that on my own. And my mom didn't know how to. My dad, what? He did go to he went to community college, but that was like years ago. And all these things change as the years go by. So I had to do all of that on my own, especially, things were weird at home where my parents were not, together. So it's like I had to learn, teach myself how to do that. And now that I feel like as first daughters, first oldest child, I feel like we have all this knowledge to share with our siblings. And we hope, or at least for I'm talking about myself, like, I hope that, like, I am asked from my brothers, like, hey, Amanda, what did you do? And all this knowledge to share, I hope it doesn't come off as, oh, well, she's giving me too much information or she knows too much and she's making it seem like she knows it all. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to seem not I don't want to say, I guess condescending, but not condescending. I don't know. Overpowering?
Pretentious.
Pretentious? Yes. You know, like I want you to come to me and I want to share all this knowledge with you because I wish I had someone like another sibling older than me or going through things at the same time as me to go through this. Like I had cousins this I have another cousin same age and like her mom was like all up in there trying to do all this college stuff and I was just like kudos to you. That's great. But sometimes it was just a little too much. That even I was just like I was overwhelmed and I'm like, and I'm doing this by myself. But I did it. Mm. Everyone's different.
Well, and I think that's a good point that you bring up, Lyana, about like you learn to do so much by yourself so that you can then like whether you choose to or not help other people. So this article also mentions the term daughtering, which I
Mm.
thought was so interesting. It was brought up by a social researcher at Baylor who then like I went to like go look into like what she was talking about regarding daughtering. And she recently had an article published on Baylor's website. It's just like a small little thing. I'll link it in the show notes as well. But National Daughter Day is a thing. It's on September 25th. And apparently it's been a thing since 1932.
My
Yeah.
God, we missed it. Damn
Wow.
it.
I always thought these holidays were like fake. These like national like daughter day, Sunday, whatever.
Right.
No, they're like real things, I guess. This one
Okay.
is.
Right.
But daughtering refers to like the family work that girls and women take on. A lot of the times invisible work. And there are like overt actions that she considers daughtering, such as like doing things for your parents and your siblings, resolving conflicts, planning family events, thinking about the family's future. And then there are more subtle actions that women and girls can do, such as like being emotional support for their parents and their family, or this one I thought was funny, holding your tongue to avoid tension. Because the amount of time my mouth has stayed shut so that like everything will be okay.
Okay, so maybe this is where it comes in más bonita calladita, right? Where we bite our tongue to stay quiet, save the peace, but we know that tension is building up. It's burning in the pits of my soul, burning because I want to say something to you. But for the sake of keeping everyone safe here and feeling away, I'm not going to say anything, right? Okay. And as when I was younger, I would tell other family members, or I would go running to my mom and be like, I'm not saying this thing, but you know what's happening. And now I just have a face about it. I think that's where the resting the RBF comes in, because I couldn't say anything. So now I have an RBF. So whenever someone says anything and doesn't sit well with me, my whole face changes. And I have to control that because sometimes it'll come out at work and I'm like,
Oh no, I'd be showing that off. I hate people say
I'm like, I'm sorry.
well, not hate it, but
No
it's
hard feelings. It's just like,
no,
you know.
at work, I don't talk to me.
I, within this year, once or twice, have had to like not hold my tongue because I do feel like I've spent a great deal of my life holding my tongue. And I truly, truly respect all of my family and love them all very dearly. But there are times where like you are just pushed and it's like, okay, well, somebody needs to say something. And if it's not going to be anybody, then I'm going to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And, things were fine because I think though, because like my family knows me and knows I'm not a person to just like say whatever or to just be disrespectful for the hell of being disrespectful. Like if I'm saying something to you, it's because like your behavior has warranted me saying something. And I'm not gonna lie, after I said it, I was real sad about it. And I was like, oh no, they're gonna be mad at me forever. But we're all adults now. And sometimes like even like I guess the adults above us, like we'll be out here acting wild. And I'm just like, why?
It makes no sense
So
to
wild
me.
for no reason, man.
Right.
No reason.
Yeah. And I appreciate I have certain family members who are also like they can only take in so much, and after a while it's just like they will come out and spit fire and spew out all these words, and I'm like, I'm not mad that they did it because it needed to be said, and that's the person that rightfully so, go for it. Do what you need to do, say what you need to say, applaud all around because um hey, sorry. I think it hurts because sometimes like people are telling the truth, and the truth, people don't want to hear it. It is what it is.
And then, okay, so the other one is, well, I forgot to say her name, but this researcher, her name is Allison M. Alford, or Dr. Allison M. Alford, sorry. And she recently started a podcast that she released on National Daughters Day called Hello Mother, Hello Daughter, that examines like being an oldest daughter or like the relationships that daughters have to their family. But one of the other things that she talks about, or that it can go under like daughtering, is this idea of like parenting your parents or like parenting with your parents. And it's like, so I don't know about you guys, but as I've gotten older, like I've started to see my mom and I as more of a unit with my brothers, especially because like my brothers, and my mom knows this, I've already told her, like my brothers come to me with things. And then, and I've told my brothers this too, I will keep their secrets until I feel like their secrets shouldn't be kept. Like I make the determination on like what needs to be discussed with my mom and what needs to be brought to my mom's attention. And I think like this works for us because my brothers should have a sister who they can go to like share their secrets and keep their things. But they should also know that like I'm never going to let anything get out of hand or let anything go too far.
I mean, we have so my brothers and I, we have different moms. So I haven't encountered that yet, but I feel like when our dad gets older, it's gonna creep up, and I don't know. I don't know if we're ready to have that next level of, I don't know how to explain it or call it, but it's just like we're reaching a new level in our relationship that I don't know if we're ready for it. And how I can't be like, yeah, go to your mom, but also like I want you to come to me because this is our dad. You know, we have to make the decisions together. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this.
Do you ever have something like that with your brothers, Lyana?
Yeah, I think my brothers know that my mom and I talk about like everything under the sun. But I have also like established a relationship with them that, you know, we could be up at 2 o'clock in the morning and they could be talking to me about what's going on in their life and like how frustrated they feel and all that kind of stuff about anything in life, work, school, all that kind of stuff, and like or their relationships or anything like that. So I've I'm happy that I have that relationship with them because like I know that they can come to me for anything. Like they trust me enough to do that. And they know that I'm not going to go like behind their back and tell my mom until like I'm like I want you to know that I'm telling mom about this. And then they'll be like, "No, don't do it." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know what you want me to do, man. I'm not your mom." So, but yeah. I mean, those things rarely happen, you know. I try to like I also try to make them talk to each other too, because they're boys. Like there are a lot of things that they go through that I'm like, I'm not ever gonna know how to explain to them. And so like I'm trying right now, I'm in that process of trying to teach them how to talk to each other because like I want them to have like that close relation. And I'm not saying that they don't. I'm not saying that they don't like talk or anything like that. But the same relationship that they individually have with me, I want
Mhm.
them to have with each other because I'm not always going to be here, as sad as that is, as sad as that truth is. Like none of us are going to be here forever, and like I want them to be able to have that close relationship with each other when that time comes.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel you on that. But you also are bringing me to my next point of this overt action of thinking about your family's future. Like, I don't really know like how much thought my brothers put into it. I put a lot of thought into what's going to happen with our family as we all get older. Specifically this Thanksgiving, I don't know, I was just kind of watching everybody like in the kitchen. I was watching everybody as they were like eating, as I was at my grandma's house, as I was at my mom's house, and I was like, these people are aging. These people are aging. And it's not even because they look old, but it's just like I have this, I'm away so much and I have this like picture of everybody in my head. And then every time I go home, I'm like confronted with the fact that like the picture you have in your head is a little old. You need to update it.
Mhm.
And especially for like my great grandma, like my great grandma was getting older, and every time I go home, I'm like confronted with the fact that like she is just not the person that she was when I was in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so what that means in terms for all of my family is me recognizing that everybody's aging. Everybody is, getting to an older point in their lives. I trying to avoid what I'm saying, so I'm repeating myself a lot, but like basically I was like, these people are not going to be here one day. What are these kids going to do like when nobody's here to cook Thanksgiving? So now I have decided that I'm going to spend this year practicing on like small turkeys, and everybody up here is going to have to try it and be subjected to me cooking these little turkeys on like how to season them. That way for next Thanksgiving, I can cook a big turkey, and like that'll be like the first time like me trying to like cook a Thanksgiving dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Because at some point the people that I have cooking for me are not going to be here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make sure the traditions that we have continue. And who does that fall on? That falls on the oldest to figure it out and plan it and get everybody to come together.
You bring up a similar situation, like a similar like memory or like thing for me also, because I want to say like 5 years ago, I started seeing that with our family and seeing how my grandparents are getting older, families are moving, and realizing that not, one of these days we're not going to all spend the holidays together. And that thought scared me because all I've known for the longest was just spending time with them or spending every holiday with them. So when it finally happened where we all were celebrating the holidays on our own, like the first Thanksgiving, my mom and I just making the turkey, her and I on our own without my grandmother, without my other aunt also like guiding us to do it. It was just like, all right, well, here are two oldest daughters making Thanksgiving dinner. But at the end, I was like grateful because every Thanksgiving, I would wake up early and I would help my mom and my aunt with Thanksgiving dinner. Like I paid attention to what they were doing. So now it was just a matter of like muscle memory, brain memory, like just trying to get doing it with my mom. And even my mom would just rely on me and she'd be like, what do I do next? I'm like, we over here nervous Nancy's because that's
Oh
where
my
that's
gosh.
where I get it from.
So sorry. Oh my gosh. Have you guys ever seen Schitt's Creek?
Yes, I love that show.
Yeah,
Fold the
yes.
cheese.
Okay. Yes. What do you mean fold the cheese? What does that mean?
You fold it in, David.
That's just
Such a good
exactly
show.
what I thought of.
So we're over here like, what the hell? And so now, yeah, now we can make the turkey together. We can make, everything else sides together. And it's like easy peasy, like nothing. And it still tastes like my grandmother's cooking. That's the important part because then, when everybody comes over, they're like, yes, this is it. This is what I waited for all year. And it tastes like my grandmother's, cooking. And that's what we hope for. But yeah, I know what you mean by that. That's why this Christmas I'm making it my business to go to see my grandparents. I need to. Yeah. I miss those old people.
That's so nice. I've wholly been a bystander to the cooking my entire life.
For a while, I was just only in charge of like taking the thread and the needle, just threading needles so that way we can sew up the turkey with the stuffing. For a while, that was my job. From the age of 9 up until 20 something, that was my job.
Okay,
So
see,
yeah.
my job was Kristina, dinner is ready, come eat. And now I am in this predicament. So I don't know. I just watching everybody get older has been a tough part of being the oldest, I think it's a tough part of being a child in general, is watching your family members, your parents, your grandparents get older. Because also, like, one of the things I've been thinking about and that I've been pressing my mother and my grandmother to think about is like end of life planning. As much as I hate to like talk about, I hate talking about it. I hate when they bring it up, but it's just like these are things that you have to take care of, because then otherwise, like, you're gonna stress me out and I'm gonna be mad at you. And I won't be mad
Real.
at you.
Real. Cause I'm be like, damn, you left me with all this to do.
Yeah, I
How am
tell
I
my
gonna
parents this. I
how
tell
am I
my
figuring
parents
this
all the
out?
time.
How am I figuring this out? You know how much I make. Hello. Please. And I'm the only one. I am the oldest and the only one who has a big girl job. Don't do this to me. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I bring it up to my parents all the time. Whatever you guys have that's like lingering, fix it. Because I'm not doing it. Because it's true. Like it's just, I think I've mentioned it. They have like property in Dominican Republic. And like you guys know well, like my Spanish is very broken. I can hold a conversation. Great. But like talk me like lawyer talk. I'm like, I don't know. Joe no say. Don't know.
All this terminology, all this legal jargon. I don't know what the fudge you're saying in Spanish. Just
So every time they bring it up, I'm just like, okay, that's all fine and good. But what about this though? Like I need you guys to focus on this, figure it out. Cause I'm not, it's gone. Once you guys like it's gone.
I'm
I'm not
like,
touching it.
it's up for grabs. Whoever out there wants it here.
Which sucks because like I obviously want to maintain those things, but
Right.
teach me then instead
Yeah.
of just like having it on the phone with some guy who takes care of it over there. And then I'm like, well,
It always
how do I
is.
talk to him then?
It's always some guy just taking care of it, and you're just out here like,
It's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, I always try to talk to my parents about it. It's a sucky conversation to have because obviously you don't want to think about it. But I know my brothers aren't talking to them about these things. So like obviously I have to be not the bad guy, but the person who's like, okay, so when this happens, like what's the plan? Like where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? Like what's the thing? Like how expensive are we talking here? Like I don't know. But yeah.
My brothers literally said this weekend, I'm just gonna let Kristina handle it and it'll be okay.
no.
And I was like, bruh. Like, here's the thing. I feel weird about bringing it up because I don't know. It feels like I'm like, hey, are you gonna leave me anything? But like, I don't really care. Leave me nothing if that's what you want to do. Just do something.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I'm gonna be heavy in the grief and I don't want to have to deal with that. Like I want to grieve in peace without like
Yeah.
any issues,
Yeah.
without somebody coming up to me and being like, well, why did you decide this? My answer is that's what they wanted. And here is the document that says that's what they wanted. So you can leave me alone.
You brought me back to when my mom's mom passed away. So my grandma passed away. My mom is the oldest daughter. And is she the oldest of the cousins in her group? I think she's the oldest cousin of her group as well. Like all of her cousins, she's like the oldest,
Mm-hmm.
I think. But anyway, it was just I remember sitting in the funeral home and like I was just watching everyone like crowding my mom, asking her all these questions, asking her what she's going to do about this or what she's going to do about that. And I don't know if you guys remember when we did not the traditions episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. No, you guys did it. The grieving episode, like those traditions that you guys have
Right.
when someone like passes in your family. So for me, they do like 9 days of prayers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like my mom was the one in charge of having to host that. My mom was in charge of having to like provide for that. And then I'm like, obviously it wasn't just on her. It was like because she has my uncle too. So like they kind of like share the responsibilities, but it was a lot on her, I think. And I'm happy that she had like her uncle, her brother to kind of like use as a crutch for a little bit. But obviously, like in that moment, it was just crazy.
Right.
Just seeing all of that. And I wanted so badly to be like, leave her the F alone. She's going through it right now. But then it's little me. I don't want to be disrespectful. We're in a funeral home. Like, how am I gonna throw a tantrum? But it's like it was that another core memory unlocked.
Hmm. Man.
Yeah. And so I don't want that to happen to me, because if it happens to me on that day, I will then throw a tantrum.
People
So I'd be
people
like,
catching these
people,
hands.
I need you guys to back up.
Ready
I
to
need
eat for
everyone.
everybody.
Yeah, I need everyone to
Yeah.
get away from me.
Yes. Ugh.
Yeah. So end of life planning, people do it. Take care of it. Don't leave it for your oldest children, because I promise you they don't want to deal with it. They just
Right.
want to miss y'all in peace.
I think my mom is settled in that department. We got that. So I got to take care of my dad. And that one is yeah.
This is
Yeah.
this is a topic we are going to come back to. We have talked about
Yes.
doing an episode on this, so don't worry, we'll be back to it, because I know there's a lot more we could all say about it. But to bring us to an end, I'll say being the oldest child, being the oldest daughter is not for the weak-hearted. I'll tell you that. Being weak was never an option for me.
I think being weak was not an option. It was just always about being responsible. And for me, as the only child, again, I told you I couldn't blame shit on anybody else. I was somewhat in the spotlight, making sure that I was doing what I was told, following rules, not fucking up. Hard, man.
Oh, I think one thing I forgot to say, because heavy on the not fucking up, and it's like, I'll say that I see it specifically like within our culture. Do not get pregnant before you graduate high school,
That's
because then what did your parents did all that work for what?
That was
yeah.
like the last thing I was expecting you to say.
No, but it's true. That's what I was kind of hinting at.
I can't believe I forgot to bring it up. And it's like, if you go to college, don't get pregnant while you're in college, because what are you gonna do? You're not gonna finish.
The irony and all this stuff right now is saying don't get pregnant. Oh my god.
And I have my mom over here like, when are you gonna give me grandkids? And I'm like, I have things I want to do still. So sorry for you. You raised me so well. I feel so sorry for you.
Right. But yeah, listen, not getting pregnant, not a thing. We weren't allowed to, no. Yeah.
Not getting caught up in a little boy. I used to hear that a lot. You're not about to get caught up in some little boy over here.
I mean, I did, but
Amanda did. She did not listen. But it worked out for you. So
it did.
um so yeah, that is, I will say though, I'll end on this in regards to being the oldest daughter for me specifically. There is nobody that I would rather be the oldest daughter for than my mom.
Mm-hmm.
If there's one thing that's ever gone right in this world, it was that I got her and she got me. I think we were both what each other needed. And I am grateful, honored, what have you, to be her oldest daughter and to go through this life with her.
Me as an only child, oldest daughter. Yeah. I'm glad to have been raised by the oldest daughter in my mom's family. Because I'm very much like her. We're two peas in a pod. And it's helped me come this far. My mom did something right. My grandmother did something right. And when it comes to my brothers, when they're ready, they'll come to me. When they're ready, and I feel like when life is about to life, I feel like they'll trust me enough to come up to me and let me know what's going on. But not only my brothers, but I feel like my cousins too. Tell you there's a big age gap, and I just feel like just setting the example for them, just letting them know like that anything is possible. It's not gonna happen when you want it to happen, but anything is possible. I've done it. I did it. Come to me. I'm not gonna turn you away.
Oh God, I don't know what to say. I think being the eldest daughter has taught me so much. I'm very grateful to have the mom that I do, the parents that I do, even though like they didn't teach me how to like apply for FAFSA or like how to write my resume. They taught me more about what it means to be like a good person, what it means to be like a good like a good human being in the world. And I would not trade that for anything. And I think like, yeah, it gets frustrating to kind of like have to be there all the time. And the guilt tripping sucks. The feeling the guilt sucks. When you get the resentment, it all sucks. But I wouldn't have it any other way because I know like one day it's not going to be there. So, yeah.
That's perfectly stated, Leland. Love that. Okay, you guys, what is making y'all glow this week?
Last Sunday, Constantine and I celebrated. If you already haven't seen my reel on Instagram at Glowing Latina, we made 15 years together.
Oh, it was so
Happy
cute.
quince.
It was like,
Happy Quince. I was like, that's our quince year. It's our quince year. Happy quince to us. It's wild. That's crazy. I make jokes about this all the time. I'm like, dang, we could have had like a 15-year-old child.
Oh my gosh.
We could have like imagine like I could have a kid who's like 15 right now. I mean, hey,
yeah.
I look fantastic, but okay.
Lyana said
Oh.
Amanda said on-site pregnancy.
But I didn't
wow.
because I was daughtering out here. So I didn't.
I'm dying.
Oh boy.
You have to tell me what your mom says when she hears.
Let's find out.
Lyana, what's making you glow this week?
I got this cute little romper from Target, not romper, jumpsuit from Target. It is so nice. Under $50. I was like, oh, I feel so pretty. It was great. I tried it on. I was like, oh my God, this feels so nice. It's like a strapless, like sequin kind of like jumpsuit. I don't really like sequin like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's what made me glow this week. Because I felt like the Sasquatch for the past couple of weeks. And then when I tried on the jumpsuit, I was like, oh, this is nice. This is cute.
I'm done. You said
Oh.
Sasquatch. Because my mom used to call me, "Are you my baby Sasquatch?" I'm like, damn, huh? That's yeah. Unlocked memory. Oh.
Honestly, not being sick is my glow. I was so productive at work today. I love that. They did piss me off right before I left, but still, I was very happy to like use my brain. I feel like my brain's been like very foggy ever since I got sick. So I'm happy that's working again. I appreciate my brain so much. Yeah.
And on that note, you guys can stream season 1 and season 2 and the beginning of season 3 of Glowing Up Latina, wherever you listen to your podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Spotify and leave a glowing review because we love to hear from y'all.
And then make sure to keep an eye out on the Google form. Send in your girly advice or whatever your advice, whatever you want us to, clue you in on. You could send that to us at glowinguplatina@gmail.com or just again, fill out the Google form and continue to like our posts and stories on Instagram at Glowing Up Latina.
And until next week, keep glowing, me, huh?